Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Dinozor Gaming, where we learn to be a better player. So you've been thinking about playing Star Wars Unlimited. Maybe you saw some packs at your local retailer or at your local shop. Maybe you caught a couple of people battling out at a table nearby when you were playing something else. Or maybe you're just like a really big Star Wars fan and you want to dive into a new hobby. Either way, you have come to the right place. Today, I'm going to be walking you guys through everything you need to know to go from an absolute beginner, never having played this game, to Galactic Champion material. Maybe not that far. Who knows? And the cool thing is you don't actually have to do it alone. Star Wars Unlimited community has already built an insane amount of tools, all free from what I can tell, whether that's deck builders, collection trackers, analytics, tournament results, you name it, it's been done. And there's new tools coming out every single day because people love this game. People are passionate about it and they are giving it their all, and I'm all here for it. It's all there, and today I'm going to be pointing you towards all the good stuff, at least all the stuff that I use. There's so much more out there. There's no way I can use all of it. And don't worry, any website or tool that I mention, I will do my best to show them all, and and even then, everything will be linked in the description below, so you won't actually miss it. It is also worth noting that we are currently wrapping up year 2 of the game. Star Wars Unlimited came out early last year, 2025, and what makes that so nice right now for a new player is that right around the corner we have rotation, with the first set coming in 2026. All of year 1, sets 1, 2, and 3 will be rotated out of premium, so there has absolutely never been a better time to jump into the game. You get to learn the ropes, understand the game, and by the time set 7 comes out early of next year, you will be on an even playing field with everybody. You will not have missed a thing. And just to be clear, this is highlighting some of the steps that I personally took on my personal journey on how I came from never having played this game or never having heard of it, all the way into my competitive and how I got this far, how I did very well at Galactic Championships. Regardless, just to show that this is the steps that I took, and I think it would work extremely well for you or anybody out there. That said, use what works for you, skip what doesn't. Not every step needs to be done by everybody. If, for example, you don't want to play any limited, you can completely skip that step, and so forth. The important thing is to remember to have fun and keep moving forward. And remember, the most important step that a man can take is the next one. With all that said, let's go ahead and jump right into the Star Wars Unlimited Ultimate New Player Guide, from newbie to Galactic Champion, your complete journey from mastering the galaxy's greatest TCG. Shots fired. So obviously the first rule, just like every other game ever, is to learn the rules. There are so many different ways of doing this. You can do the basic approach and read the official rulebook that is on Fantasy Flight Games website. You have it right here. This is their website. Don't worry, it will be in the description below. You have fantastic rule documents, not only for how to play it, but also like advanced rules. Alternatively, you could watch YouTube tutorials from so many amazing content creators. There are tons of people that are extremely passionate about this game and who have made great videos on not only how to learn to play, but how to improve on it. Or you can do what I did. Buy a starter deck, crack it open, read the rulebook inside, and just keep reading it while you're admiring those shiny new cards that you just got. So you've learned the rules. What next? Well, now you have to put them into action. So the easiest way is to grab a friend and pick up a couple of starter or spotlight decks. They are perfect for learning and balanced enough to give you real games. Now, I know some people will say that there's power level differences between the starter decks, but I don't think that the difference is big enough to matter, as long as you're just using these as tools to learn rather than your starting point for building up a fantastic game-winning deck. And let's take a look at some of the available starter decks here in set 1. Set 1, 2, and 3 have 2-player starter decks. You buy it and you get 2 decks all in one. Fantastic if you have a friend who wants to play it. We have Luke and Vader, we have Gideon and Mandalorian, we have Ahsoka and Grievous. Or if you're jumping into the later Gear 2 decks, we have Han Solo, Boba Fett, we have Qui-Gon Jinn, Darth Maul, and now coming up in set 6, we're going to have Padme Amidala and Chancellor Palpatine. Now, all of these decks are fantastic at showcasing the thematic set that they are a part of, usually emphasizing a lot of the new keywords that come with it. But forget that for a moment. At the moment, you're just trying to learn the game, and I think all of them are great choices. Now, with your friend, of course, read the rule books, that are in the decks. You did that in the first step, so now just play it out. You will make mistakes. That's okay. That's how you learn, right? And if you're feeling extra bold, well, take your deck to your local store, play it against some of the regulars there, and by God, I hope you don't win, because you're not meant to compete at a professional level with these starter decks. All that said, if you do go to a regular store, don't worry about it. Honestly, most players love teaching newcomers. It is a point of pride that this community is extremely friendly. I have yet to meet a single toxic or mean person. Everybody I've met playing this game has been fantastic. And honestly, I'm going to add a pro tip here. If you are watching this video after October of 2025, the Battle of Hoth intro set will have been released. I don't remember exactly if it's October or September, but it's coming up soon. And it is the ultimate starting point for anyone wanting to jump into the game. It is a set that is... it's not actually a set. It's kind of like a two-player starter deck that is straight up designed to be an entry point for new players. So definitely check that out. So you've learned the game. What is the next step? Now you need to find your local game store. This community, as I mentioned, is definitely one of the friendliest out there, friendliest communities I have personally ever been a part of. And most stores host learn to play nights or something similar. And if not, I guarantee there's somebody who will happily sit down with you and show you the ropes, whether that is the store owner themselves, an employee, or just other people who love the game and want to teach new people. I know that I have personally taught a bunch of new players at my store, some of whom now destroy me on a regular basis. Trust me, you will make friends quickly, and you can find these stores through so many ways. Obviously, you can do a quick Google search to find card stores around you, whether that's called a local game store or a hobby store. Alternatively, you can use a lot of the tools that we have at our disposal here. FFG on their own website has an event locator. You can set up your location. You can set up so many different parameters, and you can find some stores that host these events around you. Now, caveat here is that not every single store uses this. A lot of my local area stores, for example, are missing. I don't know the exact reason why, but this is a good starting point that you can check out. Alternatively, you can check out Melee. Melee is the website/app that FFG uses to host most of their events. All of the major events for this game are hosted on this, so a lot of local stores will absolutely host their weeklies on this. It's a great way to find a store. You can set your location, what game you want, and you will find it. All that said, remember that your local game store is going to become your main training ground and your social hub, so it is important to choose wisely. It's not always necessarily the closest one that you want, but maybe the one that really clicks with you the most. Now the next step, limited. I know not everybody's going to be crazy about this, but Star Wars Unlimited has been built from the ground up with limited in mind. And what I mean by that is that when designing the game, they have always been thinking about draft and sealed. Every single pack is made with that intention in mind, with all the leaders and the bases, even the placement within the pack. It is perfectly designed for limited. And at this stage, you probably don't have a full deck yet, and that's where limited formats shine. Sealed and draft are not only super fun and easy to jump into, but everybody's working from the same limited card pool. So you don't have to worry about Seto Kaiba just rolling up with his perfect deck, his 4 Blue Eyes White Dragons. I am so sorry for that Yu-Gi-Oh reference. Please forgive me. Plus, it is one of the best ways to build your collection while you're learning very important skills like card evaluation and what cards are good, what card is not, and just so many different things you'll learn that'll make you a way better player. And on top of that, it is crazy fun. So you've been playing draft, you've been playing sealed, you have mastered it. At this point, everybody is terrified of sitting next to you in draft, and so you want to move on to constructed or premium, whichever you want to call it. So by now you've gotten some cards and some confidence, and it's time to check out competitive decks. I recommend Netdecking. I am so sorry. I know a lot of you are like covering your mouth at this point, yelling and screaming at your screen, but don't worry. You'll understand why. You are fresh and new to this game. You don't yet know what cards are amazing, what cards work well, what doesn't work. So don't jump in blind and try to build something when you don't understand the game. The first and best entry point to this is Netdecking. And remember that Netdecking isn't cheating. It is learning. It's important to note that you are taking the deck of somebody who has spent hours, if not days or weeks, perfecting something, and there is always a reason and a choice behind every single card, and the best way to learn this is by playing the deck. So let's check out some ways that you could properly net deck. So obviously the simplest one is going to be going to websites like SWU Competitive Hub, a great website that lists all of the recent, I think all planetary qualifiers or other similar events that are played. There's event levels of all kinds. At the moment, we're only seeing planetary qualifier, but you'll see some minor tournaments, some store showdowns, and it'll show you not only who won. There's potentially some VOD that you can be watching to get a feel for how the great players are playing. If you click onto an event, you can see all the possible deck lists here. You can click on each one and see the actual deck list. And like, for example, this is the winning deck list, whoever won this event. It is a fantastic tool. Alternatively, if you are more of an analytical person, you can check out swubase.com. Much more percentage and graph based. Any leader that you want, you could filter. You want to find yourself a Captain Rex deck? Well, believe it or not, somebody has already made this deck. You can see what works and what doesn't within that leader. Okay, now you have made your deck. You've net decked it. You found it. Don't worry, we're gonna change that soon. But first things first. Now that you have your deck, comes the real magic, actually playing premium in your community. I know a lot of people at this point will say go for the online simulators, play nonstop games over and over and over until you learn, but I highly disagree. I think that is one of the worst things you can do. You need to go in person. You will learn way more in person by talking to your opponents and getting their feedback. Remember that some of these players have been playing for over a year and know everything inside and out. Don't stress about winning. In fact, you should not be winning. You should be losing at first. That is how you grow. You learn much more from your mistakes than from your successes. And honestly, if you do show up and you sweep your first locals, you beat everybody there, even if it's your first event, well, congratulations. You're a prodigy. Carry on without me. There's nothing I can teach you. You teach me, please. But realistically speaking, it is very important to talk to your local community. If you are using online tools to play, a lot of the triggers are automatic. A lot of the plays are just, some of the players are just as new as you are, or some people just are going there to jam as many games as they can. And you need to learn how your deck interacts with each other. You don't want those automatic triggers. You want to learn everything inside and out yourself, and you want all of those triggers and effects to be second nature to you. 6.5 is something just happy coincidence happens while you're playing there. You're going to make some friends. It sounds cheesy, but it's the truth. Your local players will become your training partners, your trading buddies, your travel crew for events, whether you like it or not. Because, honestly, think about it. You're talking about people who live in your immediate vicinity, who share pretty much your same hobby. What more could you ask for? Right? Great place to find maybe not your best friend, but you'll get some really close friendships from this game, and people who you'll be excited to see every single week to play, people you'll love discussing the game with. One of the biggest advantages to a physical card game that I highly recommend. So next up, building your own deck. So you've net decked it and you're done, right? Eventually you're going to want to stop copying lists and creating your own. This is where you get to look at some of the great online tools for deck building. The official website has a deck builder that you can use. Alternatively, there's one of the more common ones used online is going to be SWUDB, Star Wars DB. You can build whatever deck you want. You can jump in and edit them at any point, and you can filter, choose however you want it. It is a amazing tool. Even if you were to just pick a leader and you want to potentially, hey, let's say you're going to pick a leader that really cares about Sentinels, you can come right in here, you can filter by keyword, filter by traits, and find every single card possible. This is a fantastic tool that I use almost on the daily. Highly recommend. So at this point, you want to pick a leader and you want to start experimenting. Now that you understand the deck, the decks, and the game, And you have to remember that the strongest tournament decks often start as tweaks of existing lists. It's not always something that's just built from the scratch, so don't forget everything you learned while net decking. Keep it in mind. If you want a deeper dive into this, you can absolutely check out, I have a video on my channel called The Art of Deck Building, and it speaks from beginning to end how you can go about creating a deck that's not a net deck, and even after creating it, how do you tweak it, how do you improve it. So next step is what I highly recommend is to connect with the wider community. Now that you're hooked, it's time to plug into the larger network. You can join the official Discord. You can join the subreddit. Let's go ahead and check out. This is the official, sorry, not the official, but this is the main Facebook page that I have found. I know that my local community has its own. I know Star Wars Unlimited, TCG, and you put your city's name, you'll find something. There is the official Discord that you can join here. There are so many people always discussing stuff. There's feeds for staying on top of the new previews and new events and anything that comes up. There's always the subreddit Star Wars Unlimited that is extremely up to date all the time. And alternatively, I would recommend also checking out Fantasy Flight Games' YouTube page. They have a live stream that happens every single Wednesday that I watch all the time. They are always showing you new stuff, whether that is the new cards or giving you a recap or meta updates or anything of the sort. This is the best way you're going to be staying up to date on new event strategies, whatever you want. Now, at this point, you've mastered everything. You've beat all of the competition in your local area, and your locals are no longer enough of a challenge. So you should be looking for the next step up, which is going to be showdowns, and at a much higher level is going to be planetary qualifiers. Now, showdowns are going to more store-based, store-level events. Almost every single local game store will host one showdown per set with some very cool cards as rewards. But if you want even more, there are planetary qualifiers. You can find where these are. These are a bit more limited in where they are. We have the page here once again on the official website. You can go ahead into planetary qualifiers, find whatever is near you. They have them all over the world. And what's really neat about these is this is where you start earning points. And what are points? Well, points are now what you need to qualify yourself for next year's Worlds or Galactic Championship. If you earn yourself at least 100 points, which you can do by either winning a planetary qualifier or you get a few points for topping. And by topping, what I mean is being in the top 8 players of the event. You'll get some points. You'll slowly earn your way up. Don't worry, you have a lot of time. We have still a year until next year, so you can join as many planetary qualifiers as you want. Now, if you want a leg up even further, sectionals and regionals are the next step up. Some of them are multi-day events, some of them are limited events, but most of them are still going to be premium constructed events. You can find them here as well. There's a lot less of them. There's going to be, I believe, 3 sectors every single set and 1 regional every single set that you can definitely check out. This time for set 5, it's going to be in Spain. And these give out way more points and absolutely fantastic pricing in terms of cards, things that you probably don't want to miss out, especially if the events themselves are not too far from you. And of course, step number 11, Galactic Championship in Vegas, the big stage. We just came back from that this year, and it was an absolutely phenomenal experience. I mentioned it earlier. I went there, and I had not only a blast with all the people that I went, but I also did fairly well competitively, and I can't wait to go back next year. And if you're watching this video, that means that I will definitely be seeing you there next year. And come to Vegas, bring your crew. I will be waiting for you there, and I hope to see you. Now, with all that said, I'm going to take a quick minute here and answer a few very frequently asked questions. Stuff that I see all the time, whether that's on Reddit or Facebook or people messaging me. So since these are very common questions, I just thought I'd take a quick 2-3 minutes and answer them. So the first one is going to be, as a new player, what set should I buy? And you get asked this all the time. And I think it's a very fair question because not everybody has infinite money, right? You want to buy the right thing. Now, I can't tell you what starter deck to buy because that is entirely up to personal preference. And I know some of the sets are cheaper than the rest. For example, Twilight of the Republic is probably the most affordable set that you can find, but there is a reason for that. But I currently don't recommend buying, if you're a new player, don't buy anything that's set 1, 2, or 3. Spark of Rebellion, Twilight of the Republic, Just anything that's from the first year at the moment, don't touch it, mainly because it is going to be rotating out, and if you're trying to jump into the game, your best bet is to buy something much more recent. And on top of that, set 4 and 5, so namely Jump to Lightspeed and Legends of the Force, are not only fantastic sets, but they are also very self-contained and in a good way, right? Set 4 is a set all about piloting and starships, and all of the cards work very well together. You don't need to bundle up a lot of other cards. And set 5, it has a brand new mechanic in the Force, so a lot of the cards work within themselves as well. So you can make a very good cohesive deck with those sets. And on top of that, they will not be rotating anytime soon, so it's a great base to start off with. Second question is going to be, is it better to buy singles or boxes? And I think the answer to this, almost everybody will always tell you singles, but I think honestly it depends. If you're trying to play this game, if you're only into this game as a collector rather than a player, then I highly recommend buying boxes. But if you're jumping into this as a player, then absolutely buy singles. It's going to be significantly cheaper, especially if you already know what kind of decks you want to play. Even if you were to make 3 decks, 4 decks, it's still probably cheaper to buy singles than it is to buy boxes. That said, if you're a player like me who likes having tons of options, there's nothing wrong with buying boxes. I buy around 4 to 5 boxes every set, and that is enough to make any single deck I want. The third question is going to be, can I play more than 50 cards, or is that the limit? This is asked every single week, and the answer is you can play as many cards as you want, but you shouldn't. And you'll see that almost every single deck that you see winning events or doing well at events is going to be running exactly 50 cards. Sometimes you'll see 51, 52, but the main reason for that is if you have 50 amazing cards, why would you play your 51st best card, right? Just keep it at your best 50 cards. And on top of that, each new card that you add to your list is going to lower the consistency of your deck. You want to be drawing the cards that you want at the right time. So if you keep diluting your deck with more and more cards, it's going to be less likely for you to get what you want. And the last question, the obvious one, is I can't beat X deck. What do I do? And a lot of the times you'll see this asked for some of the very fast aggressive decks like Sabine, or sometimes the very hard control decks like Iden, or anything that's blue vigilance and dropping 10 cost cards that probably cost the opponent like $300 to buy. And I think the best answer to that is to play the deck yourself. And if you're playing, if that deck is being played by a friendly player at your store, ask them to switch decks, try it out. Or if you want, you can try it out at an online simulator or anything of the sort. When you play your opponent's deck, you'll understand what it is that is making it so strong and what its weak points are. It is much more useful to try it out that way and learn how the decks work rather than just complain about it and hope to find a counter deck for it. All that said, guys, honestly, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that this guide helped you. I am a huge fan of this game, if you couldn't tell already, and I hope that anybody who, at least one person who watched this guide, joins the game and loves it as much as I do. And with all that said, if you guys liked what you saw, please don't hesitate to leave a comment, like. I'm always open to talking to the community. Subscribe if you can. Helps me out very much. And on that note, I will see you guys next time.